Okay. So we asked the question that what did we learn from chapter 4 so far? And Balu Prabhu said that is the knowledge. Then we talked about what is the knowledge, and then everybody chimed in together. So in summary, the knowledge is, so part one, I am part of Krishna. I am part and parcel of Krishna. At the same time, then everybody else is also part and parcel of the Krishna. So so understanding is everybody has has a part of Krishna in them. So we are all brother and sister. So that's understanding, right? The second part is that we are in relationship with Krishna, who Krishna is, right? So that is he is the supreme, and we are part and parcel in a way that we are servant, his servant. That is second understanding, second part. The third is that we are right now covered by the Maya Shakti of the Lord. So we are not able to see Krishna and understand that, oh, we have come from Krishna. So that is also this chapter is talking about. And then this chapter is also talking about that how to realize that we are in relationship with Krishna. So how to understand that so that we can go back to him. So it talks about that how we can do the devotional service, and then through the devotional service we can get back to him and understand our relationship with him. So this chapter talks about all these aspects. So we will start the last section of this chapter today. Any question before we start? Okay, so 33 we have covered, right? So we have to start from 34. Okay, so we'll start from 34. This is a wonderful verse. So in the previous section, Krishna talked about the different kind of, fill in the blank for me, different kind of
Yoga.
sacrifices. Yeah, different kind of sacrifices he talked about. And the purpose of all sacrifices is to please the God, to and then to know the God. We please the God because then we can know the God, right? Now, so that's one way we can do all kind of sacrifices to know the God. But then this verse is telling that there is other way to know the God, right? And so understand this shortcut method here Krishna is going to talk about. Okay. Tadvidi pranipatena
तद्विधि प्रणिपातेन
परिप्रश्नेन सेवया
परिप्रश्नेन सेवया
उपदेक्ष्यन्ति ते ज्ञानम्
दक्ष्यन्ति ते ज्ञानं
ज्ञानिनास्तत्त्वदर्शिनः.
ज्ञानिनस्तत्त्वदर्शिनः.
Darshana.
Just try to learn the truth by approaching a spiritual master. Inquire from him submissively and render service unto him. The self-realized souls can impart knowledge unto you because they have seen the truth. So this is the simple way. Simple way is telling that just try to learn the truth. So other way is just means one is sacrifice. We are doing all the sacrifice and slowly by we are understanding Krishna better, right? But then here just try to learn the truth by approaching a spiritual master. And then once we approach the spiritual master, then what? Inquire from him submissively. Submissively, right? So we have to become humble. Humble, right? That I don't know anything, please tell me. And then to please him, then what we have to do? We have render service unto him. So because this is reciprocal, the more I do for the teacher is going to teach me the more in-depth knowledge about Krishna. Okay. The self, and this is the self-realized souls can impart knowledge unto you because they have seen the truth. Because they themselves have experienced Krishna, then they can tell us, right? If somebody knows the theoretical knowledge, then they will tell about in the theory they are going to tell us what it is, right? But if they have experienced it, they will tell much deeper thing, much deeper thing. Right? So that's the reason we appreciate the devotee of the Lord, because the devotee of the Lord is one who is already experiencing it or experienced it. The senior devotees, the Uttam Adhikaris, right? We're talking about them. So through them we can really learn quite a bit. So that's what Krishna is telling here. So the path of spiritual realization is undoubtedly difficult. So because Krishna is not cheap. So to understand, it takes some effort. The Lord therefore advises us to approach a bona fide spiritual master in the line of disciplic succession from the Lord Himself. So we should, who is the bona fide spiritual master? Who's coming in the line of disciplic succession from the Lord Himself. No one can be a bona fide spiritual master without following this principle of disciplic succession. So it's very important we understand who is our right guru. Because why it is important? Because these days you see there are a lot of self-made gurus who their disciple call as God. You see that? You'll find them. I've seen it over here also. There are followers of those gurus. They go, they call them God. So, which is, as per the scripture, is totally wrong. Totally wrong. So, no one can be spiritually realized by manufacturing his own process as, so see here, no, Prabhupada is, so he's telling the positive, then he says the negative side in a very clear term. No one can be spiritually realized by manufacturing his own process, as is the fashion of the foolish pretender. So I cannot say, oh, this is how the religion should be. No, why? Because see, here the Prabhupada is mentioning a reference from Bhagavatam, and the Bhagavatam he says, what is dharma? The path of religion is directly enunciated by the Lord. Therefore, mental speculation or dry argument cannot help lead one to the right path, nor by independent study of books of knowledge can one progress in a spiritual life. One has to approach a bona fide spiritual master to receive the knowledge. So it is, see, very important that, so there is a law, right? Government has created a law. How there is a law for the traffic. Okay, there is a law like who can vote, how to form the government. It's not that I can go and create the law. Right? So if there is a dharma, the dharma has to be created by the designer, who is the Lord Himself. So the dharma. So we cannot say, oh, this is how the dharma has to be. Dharma has already been given. That's what dharma is. And then the other part is tells what Prabhupada is telling that many times, even let's say, so Krishna has given the given the dharma. So I am going to read the book just like that. That is also is not the right way to understand, because in that way we don't get understand the intricacies of the knowledge. We don't understand the intricacies of the knowledge. Uh, Understand the second part, right? That we have to understand it through the guru. So means just self-study is also not going to be helpful. Self-study must be done, but in in cons while we have the guru. So we have a guru is teaching us, and then I am supplementing it with the my own self-study also. Okay? Unless there is submission and service, inquiries from the learned spiritual master will not be effective. Unless there is a submission and service. Two keywords. Understand? Submission and service. So please focus on this. That's the reason. See what we do: submission and service. So we learn to hear with the very humble mood, and then we do the service so that we get purified. Yes, Prabhu. Yes. So let's minimize this. Okay, and then is that better, Prabhuji?
Yeah.
Okay. So in this verse, both blind following and absurd inquiries are condemned. So we should not become a blind follower that I'll follow anybody or everyone, right? प्रभु आप वो स्विच भी ऑन कर सकते हो लाइट आप पीछे ऊपर लाइट वो स्विच है पीछे में become little brighter, it's little dark. एक बार दबाइए सर ऑन हो जाएगा फोन. Okay, so in this verse, both blind following and absurd inquiries are condemned. You understand absurd inquiries also, right? Any example of the absurd inquiries?
Challenging question.
Yeah, just to challenge, not to understand. So the question when we ask, we should try to really genuinely understand it, not just to, okay, let me show how knowledgeable I am, right? Even if it doesn't have any relationship, we'll ask some question from somewhere which I know is. So once somebody asked Prabhupada a question. Prabhupada, you said that Krishna is the most powerful. I'm just trying to remember the question. Krishna is the most powerful. So can he make something which no one can lift, because he's the most powerful? So he must be able to create something which no one can lift, right? Now, if no one can lift, then Krishna cannot lift. The question, challenging question is, Krishna can create something which no one can lift, which no one means including Krishna cannot lift, right? So Prabhupada, so these are the kind of question people just make up, right? So IIT style question. So then Prabhupada, of course, Prabhupada answered it. He's a very sharp acharya, right? So he said that yes, Krishna can definitely create something which nobody can lift. But then Krishna's energy is all the time expanding. So his energy will expand, and then he will be able to lift that also. Yes, Krishna can do inconceivable things, which is not possible, right? There's a story that how uh, that Krishna can have a elephant pass through the hole of the needle. He can do that. There's a story on that. Okay, so he can do that. Do we have enough faith to understand that? Okay, and therefore, when the student is submissive and is always ready to render service, the reciprocation of knowledge and inquiries becomes perfect. So this is again a very important part. So what happens when we are submissive and ready to render service? Then what happens is a reciprocation of knowledge and inquiry. ऊपर बैठो आराम से प्रभु इधर यहाँ आ जाओ. So there is a reciprocation of knowledge and inquiry. So when we are submissive to somebody, then there is a knowledge which passes from one medium to the other medium. And this we can think, right? If you are in love with somebody, let's say in relationship with somebody, you want to understand about someone, then we get in relationship with someone, and then that person, when the person says something, I hear it really properly, right? If I'm not in a good relationship, then what the other person is telling, it won't get to me, because I will be arguing inside my mind. Okay, next verse. Yagnatva na punarmoham evam evam yasyashi pandava
एवं यस्यसि पाण्डव
yen bhutane sheshani
येन भूतानि ईशानि
drakshasya atmani atho mayi.
द्रक्ष्यात्मनि अथो मयि
अथो महि.
Having obtained real knowledge from a self-realized soul, you will never fall again into such illusion. For by this knowledge, you will, for by this knowledge you will see that all living beings are but part of the Supreme, or in other words, that they are mine. So, having obtained real knowledge from a self-realized soul, you will never fall again into such illusion. For by this knowledge you will see that all living beings are but part of the Supreme, or in other words, that they are mine. So we are talking about what is real knowledge. What Krishna is telling, that first the illusion goes away. So we talked about the real knowledge has one of the important aspects is illusion. So illusion goes away by real knowledge. Second thing, then we see Krishna in everybody. Right? So with the first we are getting knowledge, and then we start seeing Krishna in anybody. And then we see that because what Krishna is telling, that they are mine. So this is you understand the summary, right? Krishna is directly telling what happens by getting the real knowledge. So one who knows things as they are is learning that all living beings are parts and parcel of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Lord Krishna. The sense. So one who knows things as they are is learning that all living beings are part and parcel of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Lord Krishna. The sense of an existence separate from Krishna is called Maya. So what is Maya? Is Maya? That which is not in connection with Krishna is called Maya. Or very, very simple definition. Which is not in connection with Krishna is Maya.
Why did even Krishna create Maya?
Okay. Anybody would like to answer Sridhar Prabhu's question? Why Krishna create Maya?
So we want.
Okay, explain a little bit more. Krishna, give Sridhar Prabhu good example so that he can understand. Online, did you understand? So, Sridhar Prabhu is asking why Krishna has created Maya. Yes, Tapan Prabhuji.
Yes, Prabhuji. So, from what I understand, if Maya was not there, we would not suffer and we would not want to go back to him. So, Maya, that is the purpose of Maya, that we realize our suffering and we want to go back to Godhead.
Okay. Okay. Anything else anybody would like to add? Tapan Prabhu has said that one of the function of Maya is that through the misery we get through the Maya, that makes us think about Krishna. Otherwise, we are very happy. But then Maya has many other roles also to play.
So Maya is a medium to challenge our intelligence. How we want to, whether you want to do service to Lord or you want to get to be serviced by someone else. And the attitude, whatever it decides, right? So based on these three gunas, that intelligence is challenged, and then he is ended up caught up in the Maya itself. If he is not cautious or going in a right path.
Okay. Okay, that is also the purpose of Maya. So see, the first thing is understand that. So we say that hey, we wanted to enjoy without Krishna. So now for that we can take an example. A boy who likes playing video games, right? He wants to enjoy. Now, yes, Prabhuji, हाँ बोलो.
I think the one concept I think you talked about a few weeks ago, the concept of the free will.
Yes.
If you have Maya, you can give the free will to people and saying, hey, if you want to choose Maya or if you want to choose all of these pleasures, even though, Krishna is giving like everybody knowledge through all of this and showing the path, but it's still like within the construct, he's giving free will to others. And that is how the Maya is also playing a role of giving the free will, whether people want to choose Maya or the path for Krishna consciousness. And then, of course, we have Krishna's Leela. So he does all of these things.
Yeah, so what Prabhu is telling that, of course, we know we have a free will, right? So Krishna could have done that. He should that, hey, you all become straightforward, right? Means you all should follow me. Put a gun on our head and see that, right? But that's not love. So he said, okay, you have a free will. Of course, we can choose, right, what we want. But then Krishna, so I was giving this example of somebody wants to play a video game. Now, if my father is standing behind me and I'm trying to play the video game, will I enjoy video game? My father has told me that video game is bad for you. You shouldn't be playing so much of video game. If my father is standing behind me and I'm playing the video game, will I'm going to enjoy it? No, right? So Maya is that covering. Maya gives the door. I don't see my dad, right? I'm inside the room, door is shut. Even though dad is there, but because the door is shut, I cannot see the dad. So Maya is that covering so that I can enjoy the game. So Prabhu was telling, right, that we wanted to enjoy without Krishna. So Maya gives that coverage so that we can really enjoy. You understand that part of Maya? So Shri Prabhu, here with me? So that part of Maya. The second, and of course it is enabling the free will, okay, because it is enabling the free will. Then the other part what it does, which is because Maya wants us to go back to Krishna. Then what happens?
Maya doesn't want.
Okay. Maya is giving that. It's like a strong.
Like a veil.
It's like a veil. It's a teacher, but Maya role is to give us the misery so that we can start looking at Krishna. Oh, there's something beyond it. Maya role is not to, it's not, so that is wrong understanding that it doesn't want us to go back. It wants us to go back, but only after we are purified. And we use the free will by our own sake that I really want to go, not with the gun on my head. With my own sake, like so the free will, right? With the free will, I want to go to Krishna. So Maya is acting as a veil. Then at the same time, it is like a good teacher. It is giving a test, and am I able to pass that test or not? So misery comes, and let's say so. This is a very nice example, right? There is the construction worker, and let's say he's working in Burj Khalifa. Burj Khalifa, no, no, whichever is the new building which is being constructed. So let's say a large building which is being built, tall building which is being built, and there's a worker, and worker is like one day he's going and he see your dollar is falling. He looks at the dollar. Oh, nice. He puts in the pocket and moves on. Other day, more dollar is falling. He puts the dollar in pocket and moves on. He's just happy. Then one day, there is a rock which falls on his head. And then what happens? Suddenly, then what happens? He looks up. Why? This is exactly what misery is. Why? Then we start looking, when we are happy, we never question Krishna. We're happy. Oh, it is me, I did it. I was a first class employee. I got the bonus. I'm happy, right? I don't see the hand of Krishna in that. But then when I lose the job or something happens, then you start looking for Krishna. If I get ill, my relatives get ill, there's some relationship problem, then I start looking for Krishna. So Maya is acting as a very good teacher to teach us the lesson. But the same Maya is enabling us by looking at Krishna like this. She's enabling us to inquire. So Maya role is very complicated. Like we think that Maya is a bad personality. She's not a bad personality at all. She's very compassionate. Why she's compassionate? Tell me why she's compassionate.
She is helping us to remember
Krishna. See, of course. So that is the second part, right? The first part is she's allowing me to enjoy. If let's say I want to enjoy, giving us a veil so that I can enjoy. If I think that's the enjoyment, she was giving that opportunity. So I can practice my free will. Otherwise, I will be always scared. Oh, Krishna is there. I cannot play video games. Oh, Krishna is there. I cannot eat this. Oh, Krishna is there. I cannot do these things. I cannot go to the bar. Oh, Krishna. So always I won't do it, right? So veil is there. I cannot see Krishna. I can do whatever I like. Free will. I can use my limited free will. Okay. But at the same time, then, as a good teacher, she's making us, because we are not looking, if we use the free will in the right way, I can start inquiring and I can look at Krishna also. Right? If I got the dollar, I could have picked up dollar, say, thank you, Krishna. It's only by your grace I'm getting these dollars. I will utilize it properly so that it's service to you. I could have said that. That is right way, because everything is coming by the will of Krishna. I can thank him and I can utilize it for the right service. But I'm putting it into my pocket and I'm going on vacation or something, right? So understand. So Maya she's doing a thankless job. She's doing a thankless job. Do you understand the purpose of Maya, Prabhu?
But Maya is Adi Shakti, Durga Devi.
Yes, Mataji. Yes. She is Durga Devi. Yes. Yes. And that's the reason we worship Durga Devi. But then we can worship the Durga Devi to ask for the material gain, or we can worship the Durga Devi to go, yeah, to get Krishna Bhakti. She will award that also. And I can see both me and wife, we know that we progress on the Krishna path due to Durga Devi. Like on Navratra, Prabhu, I've told you, some of you have told, right? Navratra, we would do the 9 days, right? Navratra, you all know Navratri. So we used to do, I will read Durga Chalisa, and every day I'll increase the rounds number depending on number of days. 9 days I'll read 9 times. So I was very sincerely, and not that I was asking anything, but we were sincerely doing that. The only thing we ever asked, right? Okay, keep us on the right path. We didn't know what the right path is, so that was our prayer, right? And then our chanting, like it was like on 4 rounds for a year. It was not moving. 4 rounds, 2 rounds, 4 rounds. But then that time we said that okay, we'll increase it to 8 rounds. And we during the Navratra period. And we got to 8 rounds. And the next Navratra period, we said that 16 rounds, we got to 16 rounds. Then ever since we continued. So Durga Devi showed the path. So she is there. If we ask the right thing, she will give. And she will very happily give. Okay. So one who knows things as they are is learning that all living beings are part and parcel of Supreme Personality of Godhead, Lord Krishna. The sense of existence separate from Krishna is called Maya. So very simple definition, whatever is not connected with Krishna is called Maya. So Brahma Samhita, it is clearly stated that Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the cause of all causes. Even the millions of incarnations are only his different expansions. Similarly, the living entities are also expansion of Krishna. We are a small expansion of Krishna, and there are big expansion of Krishna like Vishnu or Varahadev or Narsimhadev. Right? They're all expansion of Krishna. Liberation means to be situated in one's constitutional position as eternal servitor of Krishna. So, what is liberation? Liberation, we think that there is no cycle of life and death. That means liberation, right? Of course, it is a byproduct, but the main purpose of liberation is that when we serve Krishna, then there is no life and death. Verse 36. Api chedasi papebhyam
Api chedasi papebhyam
sarvebhyam papakritamaha
sarvebhaya papakritama
Sharva Jnana Nevyam
sarvajnana palinam
Vrijinam Santarishashyasihi.
vichitam santarishyasi.
Even if you are considered to be the most sinful of all sinners, when you are situated in the boat of transcendental knowledge, you will be able to cross over the ocean of miseries. So, in the next 3-4 verses, Krishna is going to compare that how his transcendental knowledge can be compared with the few of the things which we know of. Right? So what is the power of transcendental knowledge? So he's going to compare and contrast. So this is the first comparison. Have you heard in Hindi we call it Bhav Sagar? This material world is Bhav Sagar, means infinite ocean, very big ocean. So in the ocean, how to come out of the ocean? What is the best way to come out of the ocean? Let's say Sridhar is a very good swimmer. Can he come out of he's an expert swimmer. He's like Olympic champion. Can he come out of the ocean by his own? No, he will probably survive longer than all of us, right? But then he also going to drown like me. Who can save us from the ocean? A boat. So now, what Mataji? Airlift also. Okay. Yeah. So if you are considered to be the most sinful of all sinners, when you are situated in the boat of transcendental knowledge, you will be able to cross over the ocean of misery. So if we are in the boat of transcendental knowledge, then we can cross over this ocean because this boat know how to cross the ocean. So this is the first comparison. Okay, Bhavshagar comparison. Next verse. Yathe dhamsi samidhyognir bhashma satkurute arjuna ज्ञानाग्नि सर्व कर्माणि भस्म सत्कुरुते तथा. So next comparison. As a blazing fire turns firewood to ashes, O Arjuna, so does the fire of knowledge burns to ashes all reaction to material activities. Right? So see, as a blazing fire turns, so first comparison is how the boat of transcendental knowledge can allow us to cross over the ocean of the material world. The second comparison is compared with the blazing fire, that how a blazing fire can turn all firewood to ashes. So which means the fire of knowledge burns ashes to all reactions. Because as long as we have the baggage of karma, as long as we are carrying a suitcase of karma, whether bad karma is really bad, what about the good karma? That's also bad to go back to Krishna. Krishna doesn't want any baggage. Then, but when we become Krishna, so how that we can get rid of, because that baggage is so much that we cannot free ourselves. So bhakti burns it, just like a fire, blazing fire. It will burn all the good karma. You say, "Oh man, my good karma is also gone. What's going to happen?" No, it's a good thing. You don't want to be born again as Bill Gates or Steve Ballmer or all these wonderful people like Ambani. You don't want to. We don't want to born like that. We just want to be with Krishna because he's the richest person. Why I want to become Ambani? Okay.
Even with good karmas, we can be born in other lokas.
Yes.
We don't want.
Yes, other loka, we can become a demigod. We can become a demigod. We can go to Pitra Loka. Okay, we can do so, but again, then we fall down. Then we come back. So, so here, anybody would like to read this paragraph?
Perfect knowledge of self and super self and of their relationship is compared herein to fire. This fire not only burns up all reactions to impious activities, but also all reactions to pious activities, turning them to ashes. There are many stages of reaction: reaction in the making, reaction fructifying, reaction already achieved, and reaction a priori. But knowledge of the constitutional position of the living entity burns everything to ashes. When one is in complete knowledge, all reactions, both a priori and a posteriori, are consumed. In the Vedas, it is stated one overcomes both the pious and impious reactions of work.
Thank you. So see, there are four different kind of reactions. Is this something you're hearing for the first time, or you know about it? You've heard about it? Okay, so yes. Have you heard about the prarabdha karma? Nahin? Nahin? Okay. So there is four different stages of karma. Okay, it's the same. So one is it's called bija, kuta, prarabdha, or prarabdha. Repeat: bija, kuta, prarabdha, or prarabdha. So bija, which is still like up means seed, is a seed form. You don't know what I am going to get. Kuta, which has become little big, but still is not assigned. Means what is going to be reaction? It has gone little bigger. It's a small sampling, but still not fructifying. Prarabdha, decided. It is decided. So now I'm getting sick. I'm losing my job. My wife fights with me. All these are assigned. हमने गड़बड़ किया है. I'm getting assigned. Okay. So it's prarabdha. So prarabdha, which is already in execution. Already in execution. Or prarabdha, which has gone into the bank. It has not even converted into a seed, but it is going to get converted into a seed. Right? Means I have done something. I'm not getting the reaction right now. It has gone into the bank that Deepak has done something, good or bad. It means it can be both. Okay, good or bad. Second is seed. It has come into the seed form. The third is become a stem, like a stem. And the fourth, I'm getting to the execution right now. So these are the four stages of karma. What Krishna is telling, all kind of karma will get burned. All kind of karma. So there's a finer detail which I have read also. During the prarabdha karma, Krishna doesn't want to be partial. क्या है क्या? दरवाजा बंद कर दो प्रभु. खुश कर दीजिएगा. Okay. So prarabdha karma, they say that we still need to suffer through. Let's say somebody get the cancer. So it's not that Krishna is going to make it no cancer. He can do it, but many times he doesn't choose to do that. Because then people will say that, oh, Krishna is partial and Krishna is impartial. How he helps? He will be there with you. Let's say, yeah, and I've heard devotees who've gone through the cancer treatment, and they feel that there was somebody with them. They'd suffered for a year, but then they didn't suffer. They were all at peace. So Krishna is there with you. So when we are going through the prarabdha and you are a good devotee, sincere devotee, Krishna will be with you and you won't feel the pain. Okay, just like she has got hurt, right? She has got hurt. Now, her father is always with her. She is in pain. She will go through the pain for a week or two. Gaurav Prabhu's daughter. Okay, she will go through the pain for a week or two, but her father is always there with her. And that gives the smile on her face. Right? If father is not, this is exactly who Krishna is, Prabhu. This is exactly who Krishna is. Try to understand. He's always there. Our head is ankle is paining, it's broken. Krishna is there. He's supporting us. If without him we can feel all the pain, and that you can compare with some of the friends who don't have Krishna in their life, you see their miserable condition. Outside they might be living a very good Facebook life, but if you go and look into their inside life, you'll see the pain, the agony of their life. Okay. न हि ज्ञानेन सदृशम्
ज्ञानेन सदृशं
पवित्रमिह विद्यते
पवित्रमिह
तत्स्वयं योगा संसिद्धा
Tatsvayam yoga sansiddha
कालेन तमानि विन्दति.
kalen atmani vindati.
vindati.
In this world, there is nothing so sublime and pure as transcendental knowledge. Such knowledge is the mature fruit of all mysticism, and one who has become accomplished in the practice of devotional service enjoys this knowledge within himself in due course of time. So, third comparison. So, first comparison is, what was the first comparison? Boat in the ocean, Bhavsagar, right? Then how he comes and he takes away from the material world. So, Krishna allows us to come out of the material world. Second comparison, fire, because then we are carrying the baggage of our pap and punya karma. He burns it because we don't go to that spiritual world with the baggage. We'll get our new dress, new clothes, everything new. Okay, so we don't carry anything, so it gets burned. The third thing is about the fruit. So in this world, there is nothing so sublime and pure as transcendental knowledge. Such knowledge is the mature fruit of all mysticism. So the person who become a devotee without doing any Ashtanga yoga, you get all the siddhis, all the lahima, mahima, like so all the siddhis, people strive for that. Automatically the devotee gets it. They don't use it, they don't want it, they are not interested in it, but still they get it. Okay, so such knowledge is the mature fruit of all mysticism. And one who has become accomplished in the practice of devotional service enjoys this knowledge within himself in due course of time. So while I'm living in this world, material world, if somebody is a good devotee, they will feel that how while living in this world, they have been liberated. They are not feeling the pangs of the material world. There is no misery. And they have all the mystic cities. And there are stories, what you hear that when, what is his name? This Maharaj in Delhi, Gopal Krishna Goswami Maharaj. Gopal Krishna Goswami Maharaj, he passed away 3 months ago or something like that. Yeah, right. And there was video going on where like they were a big function happening in Delhi, and then and suddenly there was a lot of rain. It was not predicted to rain, but it's rain. So then Maharaj was looking and they're trying to make it work, but then suddenly there was a lot of rain, and then out of nowhere, Gopal Krishna Goswami Maharaj says that Indra, stop. Rain stopped. Rain stopped. So you'll see. So these are the things. The big devotees, they would never say they have all this mysticism, mystic power, because they want to be in the position of humbleness. They want to be in the position of humbleness. If I have a mystic power, then okay, Sridhar, we have a problem. Your Boeing job, boom, Boeing is good, right? No job problem, right? That is not because all these things everything which is in connection with Krishna is Krishna consciousness. So mystic yoga not in connection with Krishna is not, it's just something, someone I can attract with, but it doesn't allow me to go back to Krishna. It's not useful. Then it becomes Maya. Then that will take me down into the material world, because I will think that I have become too powerful, and I will try to do things to like as a favor, or somebody is not making me happy, I'll do the disfavor to them, and I'll incur the karma, and then next life I'll go to the lower planet. Okay, so in this, so mature state. Okay, so the one who gets who does the Krishna consciousness, they get the reward of all the yoga system as a fruit. Okay, so this knowledge is the mature fruit of devotional service, and when one is situated in transcendental knowledge, he need not search for peace elsewhere, for he enjoys peace within himself. In other words, this knowledge and peace culminate in Krishna consciousness. That is the last word in the Bhagavad Gita. So one becomes self-satisfied. They are at peace, always happy. Verse 39. Shraddhaval jnanam
Shraddhavan labhate jnanam
tatpara sayatendriya
tatpara sanyatendriya
jnanam labba param shantim
jnanam labhva param shantim
Shiranani diggachati. A faithful man who is dedicated to transcendental knowledge and who subdues his senses is eligible to achieve such knowledge. And having achieved, he quickly attains the supreme spiritual peace. So, a faithful man who is dedicated to transcendental knowledge and who subdues his senses is eligible to achieve such knowledge. And having achieved it, he quickly attains the supreme spiritual peace. So, controlling the senses. In this case, who achieves the transcendental knowledge? Who subdues his senses, right? So if I am trying, so I am doing austerity. Today is the Ekadashi. So devotees are fasting. Some are fasting without food. Some are maybe eating only fruit. Some are most people are eating no grains, right? So when we do this kind of austerity, that attracts the love of Krishna, because the purpose is that I'm trying to remember Krishna more and more today. Okay. So one is called a faithful man who thinks that simply by acting in Krishna consciousness, he can attain the highest perfection. This faith is attained by the discharge of devotional service and by chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. So two things, right? One is called a faithful man who thinks that simply by acting in Krishna consciousness, he can attain the highest perfection. The faith is attained by the discharge of devotional service and by chanting Hare Krishna. So the sadhana, the two aspects of the sadhana is chanting, we all the time remembering Krishna through the chanting and reading and all those stuff, and then doing the devotional service, which is a practical service we have to do. Okay, so we have to do both. Verse 40. I have to, I think, look into the verse. It has got. Okay, this is the verse. Agnyashasradhanascha
gyasya shraddhanasya
Shreya Atma Vinashyati
sanshayatma vinashyati
Nayam Lokasti Na Paro
mayam lokosti na paro
Na Sukham Shasyayatmanaha.
na sukham sanshayatmanah.
But ignorant and faithless person who doubt the revealed scripture do not attain God consciousness. They fall down. For the doubting soul, there is happiness neither in this world nor in the next. So initially, what Krishna, the last four verses, the people who are faithful, what happens? They are able to cross, right? All the baggage, their karmic baggage is taken away. They get the wonderful fruits, right? And then they are able to control the senses. So you get all those things. Now the person is not able to do, what happens? Now it is being talked about. So what happens? The ignorant and faithless person who doubt the revealed scripture do not attain God consciousness. They fall down. For the doubting soul, there is happiness neither in this world nor in the next. So we say that, right? The doubt is like a demon. Doubt is like a demon. So if we get the doubt, we should ask the question. And then a lot of people, these scriptures, this doesn't make sense. They never progress. They always remain in the cycle of life and death. Unless then they, by some devotee, they will get some intelligence, right? They will get some intelligence, or Maya Devi will give so much of misery to them that suddenly they start looking up, right? So one stone, I looked at it and I say something bad word, then I move on. Again another stone, I look at it and I say a lot of bad words, lot of bad words. Then third stone, the stone keeps falling. How much bad words I'm going to say? I say, why? There will be. So Maya Devi is an expert teacher. She's an expert teacher. Okay, so this is about the condition of the people who don't look up. Next word, next verse. Yoga Yogasanashta karmanam
Yogasanashta karmanam
Jnanam Sanchina Samashayam
jnana sanchina shamasham
Atmavantam na karmani
atmavantam na karmani
Nibaddanti Dhananjaya.
nibadanti dhananjaya.
One, one who acts in devotional service, renouncing the fruits of his. So one who acts in devotional service, renouncing the fruits of his action, and whose doubt have been destroyed by this transcendental knowledge, is situated factually in the self. Thus, he is not bound by the reaction of work, O conqueror of riches. So, what here Krishna is now again bringing it all the topic back, kind of summarizing. He's telling that one who acts in devotional service, what happens? One who's acting in devotional service and who is renouncing the fruits of his action. So, it's just acting in devotional service is not, it's just not the only important clause. There's other thing, and renouncing the fruits of action, and of course one thing which is this action we should be offering it to Krishna, and whose doubts have been destroyed by transcendental knowledge, is situated factually in the self. So these are the person who has become self-realized. Situated in the self means I have become self-realized. Thus he is not bound by the reaction of work. So while I am in this world and I am doing the stuff, I'm not bound by the reaction of the work. So I'm working at the level of akarma, no karma to me. O conqueror of the riches. So anybody would like to read this paragraph?
One who follows the instruction of Bhagavad Gita as it is imparted by the Lord, the personality of Godhead himself, becomes free from all doubts by the grace of transcendental knowledge. He, as part of the past, he as part and parcel of the Lord, in full Krishna consciousness, is already established in self-knowledge. As such, he is undoubtedly above bondage to action.
So he is above bondage to action. So when the bondage to action, Prabhupada has used the word because it seems that we do the work as if somebody is forcing me to do the things, right? We feel that sometimes, like if you're in a rage of anger, you know that you are angry, but still you will go and you blurt it out, right? You know that you shouldn't be saying the bad words, but still you will say that, and we are going to get the reaction, right? So we become bondage to action. So once we are established in the devotional service, then we will get free from the bondage of action. So we talked about that. We have the but I don't want to follow the all this Bhagavad Gita or the scriptures. I want to be a free man. You might have heard that, right? But now you see, this is the ignorance. We think that we are a free man, but we are being controlled. I'm getting the bad reactions. Of course, I'm getting some kind of a misery. I might be becoming rich. I might be becoming a poor, I'm getting the result of that. All those things are happening to me, but I think I'm a free man because I don't understand the forces of nature. While once somebody becomes a devotee, then it is we get our area of free will start increasing. And this is one of the example I've heard is think that the child, right? You have the you have a nice backyard, And would you allow the child to go and play outside anytime outside the home? Would you allow your child to play outside the home? Question. If you know that it's a safe place, then you will allow, right? So our yard, let's say, is a safe place. And if so, what happens when we are practicing Krishna consciousness? That yard, the surface, the play area start increasing. We can play. Still, Krishna gives us the boundary condition. It will help. It will make sure that we don't do the things which we shouldn't do. Right? He will help us. But then there are a lot of play area, and that your child can go and play safely within that area. Right? So that boundary condition, once become the devotee, it increases. And once somebody becomes the pure devotee, we can one can do whatever they want, but they don't do any bad thing because now they are pure. Okay, so the materialistic person will think that this devotee, they are they are all the time they are chanting or doing this. What kind of life is that? But they don't understand that the devotees have now all the play area. They can do. They know that what is the right thing to do. They are practicing it. They are not bound by the mode of nature, right? They're not bound by the mode of nature, while the other people, they're bound by the mode of nature. And you will hear in the chapter 18 that how the different even chapter 13 and chapter 14, you will hear about that.
Can you talk a little bit more about the play area getting bigger? Like, give an example. What do you mean by when you say devotees have a bigger play area?
Yeah, so mode of nature, the three modes. You understand the three modes, Prabhuji, right? The mode of ignorance, mode of passion, and mode of goodness. So depending on our nature, the mode control us. So right now let's say I'm in the mode of ignorance. Late, typically in the night time is yes, Mataji. Rajas and Satvaya. Yeah.
It's the same thing.
Yes, Mataji. Yes, usko English mein we say mode of ignorance, mode of passion, and mode of goodness. Right? So tamas, rajas, tamas is ignorance, rajas is passion, and sattva is goodness. Okay, so three modes. So we all have these three gunas. And then so see that we are a magnet, kind of a magnet. We have three different kind of magnetic field. Then there are three different magnetic forces above us. Depending on what kind of magnetic field, what kind of magnet I am becoming right now. Let's say I am becoming more in a tamas, ignorance. I want to sleep a lot more. I want to drink a lot more. I want to do some abominable things. I want to flirt a lot, even though I'm married. So I can do all the ignorance, mode of ignorance, right? The mode will enable me to go and do that. Now it will enabling me, and then through that I'm getting into all the reactions. So I'm going to get misery. Let's say I'm married, I'm flirting with somebody, I'm going to get caught sometime, and I'm going to go through the misery. My marriage will be broken, and the kind of misery I'm going to go through, right? Alimony and all those things I have to give. So all the riches will go away, right? And then you are living a single life, and then all those things, right? So mode of ignorance will act. Similarly, mode of passion, I want to do more. So I'll be working 18 hours a day. I'm working, and for whom I'm working. I think I'm working for my family. I'm getting all the money, and I'm going to make the saving for them. But then what? I'll get some disease or something because I'm working so hard. I'm not even taking care of myself. Something is going to happen. Just a matter of time. It's not if, it is when, right? So I'm going to get sick. Then I'm going to get sick. I'm going to suffer, and I'm getting all this money so that my family can enjoy. But what happens? I get sick. Maybe I'll die, and then my family is, of course, I'm not there, so family is, of course, miserable. And the money I have accumulated, then it goes to the children who fight amongst themselves that whose money is this. So for whom did we earn the money? And this you can see in your means I have seen in my personal life, right? How the money which was acquired by our forefathers, their son fought. After that, they are fighting. My father left some money, so there is okay. Whose money? Who should have the house, right? Even if you leave the house, if you don't want the house, still there will be some reason to fight. There will always be reason to fight because if you're not in that understanding, the mode of passion will cause all those stuff, right? We are working for the things which is not going to be useful to us. So we just work like a dog and hog. Okay. Then the mode of goodness is the best. Mode of goodness is where I'm living a nice life. I wake up early in the morning. I do the rituals. I do the Gayatri mantra. I read the Gayatri mantra. I make the charity. I'm doing all those stuff. So you'll see that my life is much calmer, much calmer. But there is a side effect of that also. If it is not done in devotion, there's side effect of that. What is the side effect of that?
Maybe you become a little sentimental, like ritualistic.
Self gratification.
So I will become little egoistic.
Yes.
I'm a good Brahmin. I'm a good Brahmin. You know, Sridhar is not doing anything. What Sridhar is doing? See, I'm become a good Brahmin. So that ego. So ego is there. And the second thing is I'm enjoying because I'm more at peace. So I'm enjoying that goodness. So again, but I'm not going back to Krishna. Again, I have to take the birth. That's mode of goodness. So you understand how the three modes is holding? That's the example. Now coming back to the question which Prabhu said, okay, tell me how that your play, your area, the safe area is increasing. So Prabhu, the control of the modes. Now I'm being controlled by the modes. So I'm inside the house, right? I'm not going outside the house. So I'm sick or whatever, right? I'm inside the house. But as I start becoming devotee, I can open the door and outside, let's say before there were a lot of dogs who was barking and I would, out of fear, I won't go. Now those barking of those dogs will stop a little bit. Now they will say they are barking little far. So I'm not that scared. I can go outside and I can do whatever in that area. Right? As I practice more, that the barking of a dog will totally diminish. The whole prey area outside will be very peaceful. I can do my chanting nicely. I can do all those stuff. So the modes are less in control. You are more in control of yourself because you are controlling your senses. That you are because controlling the senses is very difficult. Sometimes we give in. We give in a lot. Mind always plays with us. We give in a lot. So mind will be more in control. You will see that before, if I was picking one versus the other, right? I will always say that, oh, I have to do something for my family. I don't have the time for Krishna. And I'm telling you from my life. Okay, always okay. We have the children's birthday party, or we have this Diwali party, or we have this, or we have that, and we won't go to the temple. Okay, but slowly, as we start making one step at a time, second step at a time, then we understood that this Diwali party is a materialistic party. I'm going there and I'm doing the party. I'm not really remembering the Lord Ram. This is a ritual. You take the diya like this, you're dancing, and then you're dancing, right? You're chatting. You're just wasting time. So as I started taking the step, one step at two steps like that, we see that how I start picking the things which is nicer for me. And that is slowly then what we of course there is when we live in the material world, there will always be disturbance, right? The barking of the dog I'm talking about. You will feel less barking. You will feel less barking. Even there are a lot of people who are worried about the war or the losing the job, but you'll see the devotees they're much calmer. It's not that they are not worried, means they are also depending on their progress. They might get little worried. On some very good devotees who are practicing very well, they may not get worried. They said everything is Krishna's. Whatever is going to happen happened by the blessing of Krishna. So that is the next verse, which is this verse is talks about that. So Prabhu, does it help little bit? Yes, Mataji.
So you explained different. Now, how to come over all three modes?
Translate. Yeah, that's devotional service, Mataji. Devotional service. Only devotional service. And one of the very good example you can understand. Let's say I want to enter into. I know that this is Krishna's house. Let's say you are standing outside the mansion. So that is the mansion that belongs to the to God. That let's say that mansion belongs to God. But there are dogs who are barking outside, right? Who are barking. You don't dare. They are very ferocious dogs. So you don't dare to enter inside. How we can enter inside the house? How?
Owner.
When the owner comes and he catch hold of the dog and takes it away, then I will enter. So those dogs are modes of nature: goodness, passion, ignorance. Then Krishna comes, remove the modes. So that transcendental means which is above the mode. Okay, so that's the transcendental. So devotional service, because when I'm serving the Lord, then Krishna says, "Oh, I really want to come back to Him." And the and he's telling, oh, Maya is giving him all the test, and he's doing all right. He's doing all right. He's being tolerant. He's patient. He's still remembering me. He's still thinking about me. Then Krishna will come, take away Maya. He will take us back home.
Before that, Krishna will give one big test also.
He might give, depending. So he might give, but you see, the good student. Do you remember whenever you used to prepare good for exam? Are you excited for the exam, or you are still very nervous about the exam?
Both feelings.
Both feelings are there.
To be honest, both.
Both feelings. Okay.
How much stake is involved?
Pardon me. How much
How much
stake?
stake
Yeah,
is
yeah. I used to feel, I used to feel very happy when I'm prepared really well. I would used to very happy that, oh, I'm going to write the exam, because I know that, okay, let me see what question they are going to give, because I am very well prepared. I will be, means, of course, there is a little means. It's not that you are losing all the thing, right? Means losing means that you don't have any anxiety, but there are no. It won't be anxiety. It's light tension. There will light tension will be there that I have to give the exam, but I'm excited. I'm looking forward to it. Compared to when like I'm not prepared, then you don't know like when I'm going to get 80% or 60% or 40%.
बट प्रभु कभी कभी होता था जब प्रिपेयर्ड नहीं होते तो अच्छे मार्क्स आते थे
वो तुम मोड ऑफ नेचर दिखा रहे हो ना कि नहीं आते जब आप नर्वस यू गो नर्वस सो सी when we are not nervous, two times, either when you are too prepared and when you are totally ignorant. Totally ignorant. Then so okay, next verse, last verse for this chapter. Tashmad yagna sambhutam
Tashmat ajnana sambhutam
hritastham jnana hritastham jnana sinatamanah
Ritastham gyan asinatmanah
chitvena samsaya yogam
Chitvayam sanshayam yogam
athistosthita bharata.
Tishta uttishta bharata.
Therefore, the doubts which have arisen in your heart out of ignorance should be slashed by the weapon of knowledge. Armed with yoga, O Bharata, stand and fight. This is the fourth comparison Krishna is giving. So, ocean, fire, fruits, and this is the weapon. He's telling that the doubt, whatever you get, which is arising in your heart, out of ignorance. So, why the doubt is coming? Because there is ignorance. If there is no ignorance, then the doubt won't occur. So, should be slashed by the weapon of knowledge. So the weapon of knowledge. So once we get the real knowledge, so if the mind is telling me something, oh Deepak, you shouldn't do that. The knowledge is telling, no, your mind is wrong. You shouldn't allow and listen to the mind. You should tell your mind that this is the right thing to do. So that's the weapon of knowledge. So and armed with yoga, oh Bharata, stand and fight. So what is yoga here? Yoga is not Ashtanga yoga. Yoga is the yoga of knowledge. So this is the very nice purport here. So somebody would like to read it?
The yoga system instructed in this chapter is called Sanatana.
Santosh Prabhu, let's give a chance to somebody else. Sorry.
Okay.
Yeah. Anybody else online would like to read?
Yeah, I can read.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Okay, let's give chance to Shruti Mataji today. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah.
The yoga system instructed in this chapter is called Sanatana Yoga, or eternal activities performed by the living entity. This yoga has two divisions of sacrificial actions. One is called sacrifice of material possessions, and the other is knowledge of self, which is purely spiritual activity.
No,
If
stop, Mataji. So I just want everybody to just think about it. So see, this is what is Gyan Yoga. Understand how Prabhupada is breaking it in a simple term. So one is called sacrifice of one's material possession, and the other is called knowledge of the self. So we have to learn that how to use the material possession in service of Krishna, and other is understanding that who we are in relationship with Krishna. That is the knowledge of the self. Okay, so two division of yoga. Yes, go ahead, Mataji.
If sacrifice of one's material possession is not dovetailed for spiritual realization, then such sacrifice becomes material. But one who performs such sacrifices with spiritual objective or in devotional service makes a perfect sacrifice. When we come to spiritual activities, we find that these are also divided into two, namely understanding of one's own self and the truth regarding the Supreme Personality of Godhead.
So now,
One.
so yes, now see now. So So first we understood the material possession. When it is sacrificed and dovetailed with Krishna, then it becomes spiritual. Otherwise, it is material. Right? Are you all, everybody's awake? Right? So while I'm earning money, I'm using that money just for my self gratification, for family, then it is material. When I'm using the same money in service to Krishna, then that becomes spiritual. And the same, there are two division of knowledge. One is the knowledge. What Prabhupada is telling? So one part is understanding self, which is I am part and parcel of Krishna. I am part of Krishna. The second is I belongs to Krishna. So both part, right? So namely understanding of one's own self, who I am. So okay, no, sorry. So let me correct myself. So the first part is telling who I am. So I am the soul. So I am the soul. So understanding one's own self and one's constitutional position. And the second is that I am part of Krishna. So understanding I am the soul, and the second is this soul belongs to Krishna. Right? So this is so two part. That's what Prabhupada this in simple term is explaining. Okay. Let me see. I don't think we have to read the whole thing here. Okay, so we will take this now. I'll just go and walk you through the PowerPoint quickly for the recap here. I don't want to start from the very beginning. We want to go through the beginning. Let's see. We'll do the full recap. Quick. All right. You can see the PowerPoint. Cool. So, chapter 3, the connection between chapter 3 and chapter 4. Chapter 3, it was lust, right? Lust, and then where the sitting places of lust. Then, how to handle it. That for that, Krishna is going to give the knowledge in chapter 4. Okay. So, what is this knowledge? How it is received, and that how it leads to Nishkam Karma Yoga, and how is knowledge born? Okay, these are the questions which will get answered. Now, then in the 4.1 and 4.2, Krishna talks about the parampara through which the knowledge comes, right? Through the sun god, right? We talked about, do you all recall that? Okay, we don't need to, you understand? Disciple succession, when it was spoken last time. When was it spoken last time? Quick.
20 lakhs years.
Yeah. No problem. Last time is 5,120
5,000.
years ago. Mahabharata, during the time of Mahabharata. Before that,
Yeah.
the 20 million, that is what the Vivashwan, right? To the sun god, or 2
Yeah.
million years ago. Yes. And then benefit of this knowledge, it is time tested and benefits even the great people, right? So even doesn't matter who we are, everybody gets benefited by this knowledge. And then we talked about the history versus mythology. That is so the purport that history is something which has happened. Mythology which didn't happen, and people call this mythology because they don't understand the proof of it. So if we don't understand, we start using mythology, which is the wrong term to use for our own history. Okay, and then we looked into the history that okay, those places which is talked in Mahabharata, those places still exist, and there are history behind it. I'll share after this. Remind me, I'll share a very nice video of the researcher who has done the research on the artifacts of Mahabharata. Wonderful research. Okay, so and then you see all the great personality, how they were affected by different background. They came in the touch with Krishna consciousness and they progressed. Okay, so evam parampara praptam, right? In due course of time, this great knowledge was lost, and then Krishna came, and then he's telling that, but I will re-give this knowledge to you because you are my devotee as well as my friend. So who gets the knowledge? Who is Krishna's devotee or friend? Okay, so there is a qualification required, which is the devotee or a friend. Okay, and when did you give it to the sun god? So now Arjuna is asking, oh, you're telling you gave it to sun god. When did you give? Because I know sun god has come so long time back. So he's asking the right question, right? When did? So then Krishna explains because he had the doubt that oh, Krishna is just like me, similar to my age. How does he know about that? Right? So he's inquiring from that. So spirituality is not blind faith. If there is a doubt, we should ask the question. Okay, so that is the learning. And then Krishna is telling that I am unborn, right? So okay, is now then he compares it with the sun. How, like, so Krishna is giving the example. Just like Prabhu said that, hey, Prabhu, give me some example. Right? So here Krishna is telling, okay, let me try to explain the example. Examples, the examples which are good is something which I know. So if I compare with that, sun I know, it appears and disappears. So Krishna is telling, I'm just like that. You can see me right now, but then in the night you don't see me. That doesn't mean the sun doesn't exist. The sun is now visible to in India, right? So here are the example of some of the characteristic of Krishna. I don't take birth, but I don't die. I appear and disappear, just as a rich owner appear and disappear periodically at all property. I don't change bodies, right? And when and where do I appear? So whenever there is a decline in religion practice and predominant rise of religion. But there are deeper meaning which is not mentioned here. You will see that the Krishna typically comes when the devotees are seeking him. Okay, that is the deeper understanding, because to get annihilate the people and all, Krishna doesn't need to come himself. He can send his incarnation, he can send some demigods, powerful demigods, they can take care of it. Okay, and then what to do? Okay, I have come, so then he deliver the pious, annihilate the miscreant, and re-establish the dharma. So and then Krishna says, don't worry. Okay, then there is a question: how many times does God incarnates? We talked about the incarnation, right? There are 6 different kind of incarnations, right? Purusha avatar, Guna avatar, Leela avatar, Manvantara, Yuga, Shakti, Avesh. We spent some time on this. Does people remember it?
Yes.
Okay. So we had gone into this expansion, 6 categories of expansion and avatars. Okay. There's a lot more detail in Srimad Bhagavatam in Canto 1. And, okay. Sorry, Mataji.
You might have a question. Do you understand this?
So, okay, we'll talk about Gaurav Prabhu. Okay, if he has missed this class, then he missed the class. Okay, so we'll after this we'll talk about that. Okay. Okay, so then Srimad Bhagavatam. So it has a lot more detail. Once you start reading it, you will get to know more. Okay, and then 4.9. This is one of the wonderful verse. It says that, but my activities are uncommon and transcendental. If one really understand it, then what does one get? So tell me, what does the 4.9 said? If we understand Krishna's,
They will be reborn.
we won't be reborn. So we understand the magical appearance and disappearance of Krishna, then we won't be reborn, because then we understand the science of Krishna consciousness, that Krishna is a God. He can appear and disappear at his own will. He comes for my own sake. He is a real person. So if I understand this knowledge, then I will behave accordingly. If I behave accordingly, then I won't be born again. You understand why Krishna says? He says in summary, but I am explaining why Krishna says that one person who understands my uncommon appearance and disappearance won't take the birth again in this universe. Again.
But why won't the real Bhakt want to be born again and again so he can keep chanting?
So what the very good question. So actually, the dear devotees of Lord say that I don't want anything. I don't even want liberation. I only want one thing, which is
chanting the name of God.
love of the Lord.
Yeah.
So chanting is the expression of that love,
Yeah.
right? So I only want love of Lord. And this, we are doing Damodar Astakam. You see in the meaning which we read, if you remember, what say that I don't want anything. I only want to remember that how Mother Yashoda is kissing you, and how you're walking, how you're crying. I only want to remember your pastimes. That is the love, right? So
Prabhu, there is
yes,
can you tell that story?
They have heard the story, Mataji. I hope they understand the story.
Okay.
We went to Damodar Astakam at Mataji's house.
Yeah.
We talked about, right? Yeah. Okay. So and then once we get free, once we get that understand Krishna's uncommon appearance and disappearance, then what happens? We will win over the enemy of lust, fear, and anger. So those 3 things, which is keeping us on this material world, we'll be able to win over it. So that is the real mukti. Okay, we will be able to win over it. So that lust, anger is gone, and then uh, then Krishna talks about how the knowledge ones get as one surrenders unto me. So Krishna is reciprocal. As one surrenders unto the Krishna, in proportion Krishna will award the bhakti. Okay, so it depends on our surrender. If I'm understanding the knowledge, but I'm not surrendering, right? No, surrendering is still, I think that I'm very intelligent, I can control it. When I become 60, that time I'll retire and then I'll go and do it. Then Krishna is not going to award me. Okay. So because I'm thinking I am the doer, I will, I understand this knowledge, but I will right now I'll enjoy, and then after 10 years I'll practice it. So after 10 years, what will happen? Our body won't be in a condition where I will be able to chant or remember Krishna or read about Krishna. So just will waste our life. Okay. So in achieving success, especially spiritual, our attitude has a very important role to play. So attitude, attitude, attitude. Okay. So who created all this path? Krishna is telling, I created all this path, right? And because why he's created all the different paths, different yoga system and everything, because not everyone is at the same level. The different people with a different propensity. So for that, Krishna created this Chaturvarnam. Chatur, right? Chatur Varna, four Varna based on guna and the psychophysical nature, which is mentality. Guna and mentality is not based on the caste system. Understand? So this is what Krishna talked about. And the four and that is based on our different propensity. These four parts are there, and that is the for us to move forward on the path of spiritualism. I do not aspire for the fruits of my work. Learn this art about. So again, the repetition that how one should do the work, uh, how one should work without the propensity of the doer, that I am the doer. Okay. So why is Krishna repeatedly saying to Arjuna that people have got success? So kim karma, kim akarmati. The intricacies of karma are difficult to understand, even for the wise. So try to understand it well. So because we think that we understand karma, right? But it's a difficult subject. So Krishna again explained karma, vikarma, and akarma. Okay. And then karma and vikarma causes bondage. Akarma causes mukti, right? Akarma, right? We talked about karma, karma, and vikarma. So being good is not good enough. Human life is to be spiritual. So we're talking about the mode of goodness is also not good. Is the best. It is required for us to make the devotional practice. Devotional, it is the starting point for the devotional service. But that shouldn't be the end goal. That is the launching pad. For the flight to fly, it has to get on the what do you call it?
Runway.
Runway. Thank you, Prabhu. On the runway. But that doesn't mean that I have to stay on the runway. The flight has to take off, and that is when I take off. That's the transcendental life. While I'm the runway, that is the mode of goodness. Okay. Okay. So and then so now to explain the karma and akarma, Krishna talks about this complicated term: seeing inaction in action, and the other is seeing action in inaction. Does everybody remember we talked about this subject? Okay. So, and then very mysterious, what are the symptoms of such a worker? So, what is the symptom of the worker who is really understood Krishna? So now here the sacrifices being talked about, right? So they are living their life, they are doing the sacrifices, but they are doing it for Krishna. So here Krishna goes into a different kind of sacrifices, like that how they will demigod worship is there, Brahman worship is there, mind control is there, sense enjoyment is there, self control is there, charity, austerity, mysticism, study of scripture, and pranayama. So different kind of yagyas are there, but the purpose of all those yagya is what? What is the purpose? Krishna. Do these different sacrifices have a common purpose? Yes, which is nishkama karma, or dutiful work that will lead to an increased knowledge. So when we do that, so again, so this is one path, right? So slowly, this is the people who are a different propensity, they may follow different sacrifices and stuff, right? And slowly, it is enabling them to understand the knowledge, and that knowledge will then slowly elevate them. But then today we studied 34, right? So before the so here knowledge. So how this knowledge works? So very good way to understand here is, so we are getting the knowledge from outside book. That is the knowledge from outside, but there is a knowledge from inside. How the knowledge from inside works? I get experience, I get realization, and that outside knowledge helps build the inside knowledge. Then outside knowledge and inside knowledge combines, and then repeat. If I now again go and read the outside knowledge, I'll get the new perspective. Again, new realization will happen. Again, outside and inside knowledge combines. Again, so when every time we read the Bhagavad Gita, you will get new realization. Okay, so this is the and each and this realization should leads to dutiful work. Dutiful work means I ought to do it. I should do the work because it ought to be done. It's not that I am doing it out of fear. It's not that I want something out of the work. I am not looking for the result of that work. I'm just doing the work because it ought to be done. Gaurav Prabhu will be good husband because he ought to be a good husband. Gaurav Prabhu has to be a good father because he ought to be a good father. It's not that he is expecting something from his wife or he's expecting something from the daughter. He will be a good dad and a good husband because that ought to be done. Yet at the same time, Gaurav Prabhu has to make sure that he's using the knowledge to progress on the Krishna consciousness. This is the right understanding. Okay. So as knowledge outside is happening, inside the churning should happen. Same relationship. Same relationship. But then different attitude. It's all about attitude. How we are approaching the attitude. That attitude. Okay. So and then the easier way to attain the knowledge, which is tadvidi pranipatena, means approaching a spiritual master who can explain it all in a simple term. We get the direct knowledge. So one is we are getting the knowledge by doing the sacrifice. Other is approach the spiritual master who will give you all the knowledge. We just surrender to the spiritual master with the humble mood, and then I just use that knowledge and I progress on that path of devotional service. So easier way. Okay, 434. So three qualities make one perfect student. What is that? Humility, respect, and thankfulness. Right. So either you should be very eager. So that I was telling that 4 p.m. typically you see Sridhar Prabhu if he's here and he hasn't forgotten about it, he will be here on time. So that's eagerness, right? Eagerness, obedience, respect, right? We should have the respect. And then gratitude. We should always be thankful. Oh, thankful. Thank you, Prabhupada. What knowledge you have given. Like, so if that gratitude, thank you, Krishna. Thank you for coming and speaking this knowledge so that I can, to Arjun, so that I am today I'm able to understand it. So that gratefulness has to be there. Obedience has to be there. Gratefulness has to be there. But I already approached you and accepted you as my guru. So here Krishna is telling, yes, that's the reason I'm telling you all this knowledge. So now the question is there a way to check if I have received the knowledge properly or not? Right? How do I know if I have received the knowledge properly or not? So this Krishna gives 4 ways. Okay. So 4 understanding he gives. How do I know? So never, so we would never get illusion again. We understood that how this gets act as a boat and it will pull it from the material knowledge. So I have a complete faith on that. How it comes and burns all my good and bad karma. How it gives the kind of fruit which is not possible. Even though I don't care about the fruit, right? I only care about the love of Krishna. And then how it acts, the knowledge comes as a sword and it cuts all my doubts. Okay. And then that armed with the yoga, oh Bharata, stand and fight. So now we have been given the knowledge of Krishna consciousness. Now, what we should do?
Just to do Kama Karma.
We should live our life with Krishna consciousness. Because our fight is, we are not in a Mahabharata right now. Our Mahabharata is inside us, right? So we should use that knowledge and live a life as per the Bhagavad Gita. So Jnana Yoga is first know and then do it. First know and then do it. That's the Jnana Yoga. So this is spiritual knowledge, right? And so we have covered 4 chapters so far. The first chapter was about the lamentation. Arjuna was in lamentation, right? So he doesn't know what to do, how to make the decision. He's telling, I'm not going to fight. Even if they're going to kill me, even I'm going to get the sin, I'm not going to fight. So we have to come out of the lamentation. And how to come out of the lamentation? Identity. Why you're crying, Arjuna? You're crying for the body, which is not worth crying. Your identity is soul. Right? Sridhar Prabhu, your identity is soul. So why you should be crying? Be crying, right? So that's the identity. We got the identity that we are soul. We shouldn't be crying for the body. And then what is the right duty? Karma yoga. Our duty is we should work for Krishna. We shouldn't be working for us. Okay? But then what is my right duty? So that's where the knowledge. What is the right duty? Who is Krishna is? What is the purpose of that knowledge? All those things we studied in this chapter. So we got to know. Now the chapter 5 is, now you have learned this knowledge, how you should do this duty in a right way. That is chapter 5. Karma Sannyas Yoga. So I am doing the karma, but I am in a sannyas yoga. So karma sannyas yoga. While I am doing karma, I'm living like a sannyasi. Because I am doing with the right attitude, without expecting the result, offering everything to Krishna. So that is living a life of sannyasi. That is inaction in action. Inaction in action. So that was the quick summary. Okay. Now, what is the time? 5:38. Yes, Prabhu. गौरव प्रभु क्वेश्चन आपका क्या था? नाउ वी कैन टेक योर क्वेश्चन। अवतार के ऊपर क्या क्वेश्चन था प्रभु का? ठीक है। हाँ हाँ, तो अभी अभी बिल्कुल आपकी माता बन गई है ना। चलो माता जी आप ही पूछ लो, उनकी तरफ से पूछ लो क्या क्वेश्चन है, क्या आपको परेशान कर रहे हैं बताओ जरा, ये
परेशान
क्या परेशान कर रहे हैं बताओ। यस, स्लाइड दिखाना पड़ेगा उसके लिए। ओके,
The concept between like difference between Krishna and Balram and Shivji and all other avatars.
ओके,
that one
That is
27
but
यस यस,
that I am not able to explain that properly.
yeah, it takes time to understand. Mataji, this is the Bhagavatam topic. It takes time to understand it. So, and this is a very elaborate topic. So, understand that Krishna is one. Then he expands as Balramji. Okay, so there are different kind of like Vaibhav Prakasha, right? You see this technical terms, right? When you start understanding, even after studying Bhagavatam for some time, it takes time to understand. It's very little complicated, but understand that all these are so. What for us at this our level, that these are Krishna's expansion. When expansion happens, the quality of Krishna is within that expansion. But depending on the kind of expansion, not all quality can be there. So there's let's say expansion of Shiv. So Krishna has 64 qualities. When the Shiva expansion happens, Shivaji has 55 qualities of those. So he is the expansion of Krishna, but it has a purpose. So 55 qualities. Ramji expansion has 60 qualities. So there is a purpose, so that the expansion is happening. We humans have 50 qualities. Demigods, yes, we are part of Krishna. We are part of Krishna. 50 qualities, but those qualities are not in full. Demigods also have 50 qualities, but they have this quality in much fuller. So depending on the different demigods, they have a various variation of those 50 qualities. But we have 50 qualities, but there is a variation. Okay, so those 50 qualities. So that's how we are expansion of Krishna, and we have those qualities. So qualitatively, we are one with Krishna. Quantitatively, we are very minute. Okay, that's the practical understanding. Then from that expansion, there are different kind of expansion because we thought, oh, Leela Avatar. So Leela Avatar purpose is to do the pastime so that we can know who Krishna is. So there different Leela Avatar happens. So we can meditate on the form, Varahadev form or Hiranyakash, Narsimhadev form, right? So we can meditate on those whatever we like, right? And then there is Purusha Avatar. Purusha Avatar is 3 different Vishnu form, which who comes and create this universe. So Krishna doesn't directly work. He creates his expansion, right? Mahavishnu, Karna Dakshaya Vishnu, Garbho Dakshaya Vishnu, Shiro Dakshaya Vishnu, and then they are expanding and creating different universes. Okay. Then Guna Avatar are there, like Brahma, Vishnu, Mahesh. We say three Devata. So they are the different demigods for each of the gunas, different modes. Brahma is for passion, Vishnu is for creation and the passion. Vishnu is for sattva and for maintenance, and Shiva is for tamas and destruction. Doesn't mean that Shiva is in ignorance. Shivaji is never ignorant. Shiva is owning the ignorance. Shivaji is not in ignorance. Shivaji is owning the ignorance. So a lot of people who love the ignorance, they gravitate towards Shivji because he's Shambhu. He's very merciful. Even like the one is the Bhoot, Pisach or fallen, murderer. Shivji will pick everybody. If they want, they will pick everybody and then deliver to Krishna. Okay. Um, there is one Premanand Babaji. Sometimes here he's become very popular. Okay. He authentic Krishna consciousness he teaches. He came from the worship of Shiva. He talks about it. Right? He talks about that. So
Yeah. He talks about that.
yes, Prabhu. So if you Santosh Prabhu, you also have question. I was not looking at your this side.
I have a question too.
Okay, Prabhu. So let me finish this and then I'll come to your question.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So Guna Avatar, Sakti Avish Avatar. So these are the avatars which are created for a specific purpose to go and do something. Right? So they are like a Indra. Indra has been given a post. They are the Vibhuti of Krishna, Sakti Avish Avatar. So similarly, Buddha. Buddha is a very good example. They are given a special Sakti to come and there are a lot of animal killing is happening. Go and stop the animal killing. right? Similarly, our understanding is, and this has been spoken by the Acharyas, that Jesus, he is Shakti Avish Avatar, or Muhammad, he is Sakti Avish Avatar. They are given a purpose to come and establish the religion for that culture, right? So that's the reason these religions evolved. But they're Shakti Avish Avatar, they came to re-establish the religion for that culture. Okay. Then Manvantara Avatar. Every Manvantara there is a avatar happens like Manu, right? So the Manu and the progenitor. So they are the Manvantara avatars. And then Yuga Avatar. Every Yuga, then to deliver the mankind, the Yuga Avatar happens. So they all have the purpose. The Yuga Avatar for this, the Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, right? So these are the different kind of avatars which come, and they have the purpose, but they're all expansion of Krishna, and they come with the variation of the quality of Krishna. And but once in a lifetime of Brahma, Krishna comes as Swayam Bhagwan, and that was the most recently 5,120 years ago when he came to once in a day of Brahma, in one kalpa, day of Brahma, yeah, once in a day of Brahma, which means 71 Chaturyuga. 71 Chaturyuga happens during that time. Once in that time, we are so lucky. So this is the golden peak. This is called Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came and he said that the name of Krishna will be repeated in every town and village. And the 10 next, our Acharya says the next 10,000 years is the golden period. Take your ticket, go back to Godhead. Then there will be a very fast deterioration in the Kali Yuga, and it will be very hard to get out of it. We have to wait for the other yugas, right? So this 10,000 years, because they are the bhakti, we're talking about the bhakti clearly right now, easier to talk, even though there is a lot of turmoil, but still we can talk, we can live, right? You don't know once the nuclear bomb will start dropping, again, all the things, because it will drop. It's just not the matter of if, it is a matter of when. It will self-destruction. The whole Kali Yuga, and then how the whole Kali Yuga will like start manifesting. People will destroy all that good technology, all the good medicine, everything will go away, and then people are just like living the life by killing each other. Okay, okay, Prabhu, Santosh Prabhuji, your question.
So the question I have is in chapter 2, Sri Bhagavan talks about that we always existed. There was never a time we did not exist, and we always exist, right? So my question is there finite, then is there constant number of souls then?
No, so this question also comes. No, they're innumerable. Just like there is the innumerable universes, there are innumerable souls. Okay, so can there be finite number? So it's such a big number that is called infinite. Is it like a finite, like Krishna will be always, Krishna is always expanding, which means that Krishna can always be creating new part and parcel also, right? So no, so it is, there is no finite number, it's infinite.
And a related question, so do these souls have like unique identity? Like my physical identity for now is Santosh. The souls that always exist, say when I leave this body, will I have?
So your identity as Santosh is through the body. You this
Yes.
time you have got a male body. Next birth, if you are not practicing Krishna consciousness, you might get a female body, because maybe at the end you are remembering your wife, you'll get a female body, right? So our identity is as a soul. Right now, whatever the name we have, it is the bodily identity. But but yes, in the spiritual world, it has a fixed identity. Your soul, if your question is, does your soul have a fixed identity? Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, it has a fixed identity in the soul. This is called Swarup Siddhi. So there is a Swarup, it's called Swarup. Right? We have a fixed Swarup which existed in the spiritual world, is there. And once we get cleansed of it, cleansed of our fault, then we will realize that what was our Swarup in the spiritual world.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay. Any other question? All right. Then we will end the class. We finish chapter 4. Next class, we'll start chapter 5. We are able to do the review also. So I don't think we need to redo the re-review, right? We're all good with the chapter 4?
Can we get that review portion of it?
Review portion of it?
You went through at the end, you went through the whole thing.
The PowerPoint? You want the PowerPoint?
That would be helpful.
Yes, I'll charge only. How much dollar should I charge him?
Krishna will give you.
I'm not going to give anything, okay? I'll keep it. but Krishna will give you something. Mystic man.
And Prabhu, can we also have the quiz that we used to have?
Prabhu, now because quiz was taking so much of time, so
Okay.
but I can ask questions, some questions maybe in the next class,
Okay.
and to see how we are doing. Okay, we can do that.
Okay.
Yes,
Okay.
Mataji. Yes, Mataji, bolo. Radha Rani, Shiva Shaktis. Yeah, they are expansion of Radha Rani, like the Mahamaya, Yoga Maya. So expansion of Radha Rani. So
She is also expansion of
she is the expansion of Krishna. She is called pleasure potency of Krishna. So Krishna expands himself in his own pleasure potency. Okay, so Krishna expands. So and why Krishna expands? Because even though he's self-contained, this question also comes. Krishna is what is the word good? नहीं राम क्या बोलते हैं? Is Atmaram. Thank you, Atmaram. See, that's very dangerous. You are not able to understand. They understand the mind. Very dangerous. So Atmaram. Krishna is Atmaram. He's self, which means he's self-satisfied. But then why he expands? Because when we expand, there's more interaction. There's lot of variety, pastimes, right? And then devotees are also enjoying because there's more variety, right? So Krishna expands for that purpose. And why he does? His Krishna, his decision, how he will expand, how that's his decision. I don't know, right? So no, yeah, his decision. He yeah, out of syllabus because yeah, because he's a person. He has the likes and dislikes. Why all the time he likes to wear the yellow dress? Why not blue dress? He likes wearing yellow dress. Means he, jeans or in this yellow means the description is always is the bright yellow which is looks like a sun, like the setting of the sun. The description, his color is like a dark cloud, rain cloud. When like those colors doesn't exist in this world, but that is the closest match what has been explained to us. That's what Krishna is. He's not like a Gora people. He's like dark. He's dark, but his darkness is very present, most beautiful darkness. That's what the scripture explains. When people see Krishna, they don't want to see anything else. Any other question before we say Hare Krishna? So you see, I'm so happy. Like everybody's asking question, everybody's still here. So we all like enjoying the pastime of Krishna. It's like a Sankirtan is happening here. Yeah, Sankirtan is happening here. This is what exactly Krishna wants, and you will hear in chapter 8, Krishna will talk more. So I want to quickly go over all these Bhagavad Gita chapters so that we can finish it and we imbibe in our life and we become wonderful persons. And then by the way, okay, because I really want we all to progress very fast. But very good opportunity, Sadhu Sangha. I shared that link in the WhatsApp. I know Sridhar doesn't look at the WhatsApp, so it's very good that we are talking about it. So Sadhu Sangha is a great retreat. It happens on the Memorial Day weekend. This time it is happening even at a very nice place. Last time it was in Dallas, which is not so nice place as far as the Sadhu Sangha itself is a great. We don't need to go outside. We never go outside, right? This time it is happening in Florida, in a resort, right? And here I'll show you quickly. Sadhu Sangha retreat home. So this is highly recommended if your time allows, your budget allows. It's not very expensive. We booked for 4 people. It's $1,400, which means per person $350, which includes the stay and all the prashadam and everything. And
350 or 650?
350 Prabhuji per person.
For four, if you're going in group.
Yeah, for 4 person. They will arrange, or you can form the prep, like you can book and then you can, and this gets booked very fast, very popular. And the people from all over the world come. This is the festival where you won't see, it's like a more than 50% are non-Indian. Very dynamic, all this kirtaniya, like the best kirtaniyas in the world, like who are devotee. They're not like they're not coming as singer. They're not like a Lata Mangeshkar, but they are Lata Mangeshkar with devotion. Right? So these are the people who are coming out, very good singer who and then who have a lot of devotion, and you'll meet a lot of spiritual gurus also. So like this will prepare you to think, oh, I feel more associated with this spiritual guru. Okay, sometimes I'll take the shelter, maybe I'll take the shelter from him. Let me go and hear the lecture from this person. So this will really bring you much faster. So it's amazing. Like 2-3 days, you will it seems like you are living in a bliss, complete bliss. The kids love it, adults love it, parents love it. I have taken my mother also. Even after the stroke, I took her. Right? Yeah. So my kids, like my son, was go, and we have seen his progress. Like you're going to Sadhu Sangha, our progress from Sadhu Sangha. So Sadhu Sangha is the place to be.
Amazing, Prashad.
Amazing, Prashad. Yes.
Nice.
Oh, okay. Oh, sorry. Oh, again, I was not sharing the screen while I was showing the Sadhu Sangha here. So this is the uh, again sadhusangaretreat.com, and I was talking about, you can see all the different swamis who are coming. They're all BV Govind Swami Maharaj. Wow, like every swami, like they have the style, they have the style. So their personality, they have a personality. They're like it's a rock concert for the devotees, basically. You can think like that. It's so exciting. Okay, all right. So I'll stop sharing. Hare Krishna to all of you.
Hare
And we
Krishna,
will
Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna Mataji, and we will meet next week